I think it's worth doing a little bit of show and tell. So as I said, here's some Polish currency here, and here is some whoa, what do we got here? That just fell out. That's a pity. Here's some Singaporean currency. These are Singapore dollars right here. So you see that these things tend to be multicolor. Are these Singapore? Yeah, Singapore dollars. So these things are multicolor. So quite beautiful for the other currencies in the world, no doubt. I'd say like most of them look much better than our own. But our own is unique in that it's uniquely ugly. It's uniquely monochrome in the coloration. So very simple. Ours do not tend to have buildings on them or animals, or in Africa, you'll see animals in Brazil, and you'll see animals on other people's currency. This is the country of Georgia right here. And so you see these multicolors and different sizes as well. The Japanese currency is quite fascinating. Here's Japan. It really looks old world, but you see they have the animals and different. You'll see architecture and things like that on different currencies. But anyways, our currency is iconic. No one else's currency is iconic. You hear me? I don't want to hear if somebody else said like, oh, the euro is iconic. Please stop. No, them Benjis are iconic. You dig? Them Benjis are iconic. So with that being the case, these are dirhams from the United Arab Emirates. Most famous city you might know from there is Dubai. So these are dirhams. And as they have like random cultural items on it. They don't necessarily always have like a man's face. I think that's something very fascinating about the European mindset. And I think the European mindset, especially historically, has been, these folks are pretty smart. They're pretty sharp. Not today, but they've been pretty sharp. And here's Kenya. It's African currency, obviously, in the country of Kenya. And there you go, a lion. That's keeping in line with stereotypes, right? Then you have the Swiss franc. This is a fine currency. Like I would for sure be down to load up on Swiss francs, right? That's a good one. So another franc, yes. So anyways, you track a lot of these YouTubers, you track their background. They were on like dating shows, they're on reality TV. They wanted to be famous. No, I never wanted to be famous. Not at all. I have bigger goals and more important things to do than YouTube on a regular basis. And so I always prioritize those things. When I stop to talk to you guys, that is me taking a break from a beautiful life. And so if I can unpack or knock out two things at once, I have to, because I'm that busy. I'm not like those nerds that are in their studio 24/7. They never go anywhere. I've been to 7 countries already, 7 countries in the last couple weeks. So I'm moving very quickly for good reason. So that is why, if you want quality content where I sit down, take out time, go through lecture notes, become a member at TheSassin.com. That's TheSassin.com. If you want quality, focused information, purchase one of the mini courses. If you want free information, then you're going to get free information at my convenience, because I am a busy businessman, and that's just the fact of the matter. You might consider being thankful. You heard me? You might consider being thankful and ask yourself, okay, what have I done for Marquett Burton? Not a damn thing. He doesn't even know my name. I've never done anything for him, but I've watched his content for 4 years, never sent in a single dollar. You have no right to complain. You should just be thankful. So I want you guys all to go through your life with a sense of being thankful. It's important, okay? Shout out to those really supporting. And also shout out to the freeloaders who haven't clicked the like button or anything. They're like, look, Marquett, I have no respect for anything on earth. I'm not clicking the like button. I'm not sending $1. And I'm just here. F everybody. Shout out to them too. We need you.
I like to, big myself up just as much as the next guy. I tend to think I sound better when I'm talking fly, you dig? But what I'm about at this stage in life is not making millions of dollars. I'm about making millionaires. I want to help the rich get richer, you dig? Yeah, people who are rich in spirit, who are rich in ambition, come to me. I want to make you richer.
And there's a lot of you like that. You're going to do so much in the world. And if I can help you magnify what you're going to do or be more confident in your approach, I feel like I've really brought some gifts to the world, you see. And of course, as have your parents. But if I can help unwrap it, man, that's an honor. That is an honor. If I can be a footnote in your life story when you write it, I'm happy.
And when I brag, when I really do my real bragging, I'm bragging on what I've contributed to other people, because that's the greatest measure. I'm bragging on the goodness that I've put out in the world. That's the greatest measure. I don't want to hear somebody talking about, oh man, I was viral. I went, 3 million views and I got 72 subscribers. I don't care, Brody. I don't care. That's the kind of man I am. I'm talking to you the way I would talk to you if you were sitting in front of me. I'm not talking to you with extra confidence because you can't touch me. I'm not talking to you with extra rudeness. I don't have extra bravado. I'm talking to you like I would talk to you if you were sitting in front of me. I have one way of being. I got one way to be. These motherfuckers out here two-faced, man. Lord knows this ball wouldn't be talking crazy. Marquett Devon Burton lives and dies by his principles. There's not many like me. That's why you don't understand me, because we are not the same. So I'm a real believer in
real member,
values, principles, morals. A male who plays with his backside, that is a disgusting individual. And that is a signal that he is globally immoral, meaning everything about him is immoral, selfish and narcissistic. He'll do anything for short-term thrill and gain. This is the kind of person you follow. If that's your leader, if that's your king, fantastic. When the revolution pops off, God willing, I have 2 spikes in front of my castle with each of your heads on them, okay? There's no middle ground here. People who engage in like disgusting things like that, nah, I don't sign off on it. Men who talk behind other men's backs, nah, I don't sign off on it. You see me, I'm a straightforward person. If I got an issue with somebody, I'm gonna bring it straight to their face and we're gonna deal with it. We're not gonna talk behind backs. I don't condone it. I don't promote it. And I'm gonna make sure that the young boys watching me, they see a great example of a man.
As we journey to our wealth, we often consider business, entrepreneurship. Certainly, product-based business is far superior to service businesses. I hear from a lot of you, whether it's on one-on-one consultations, which if you would like, you can look at thesassin.com. That's TheSassin.com. I'm in product-based businesses, which is why I'm able to travel around the world at my whim. I don't have to actually show up anywhere. So that's number one. But what I encourage people when they're first starting off in business in a given pursuit is pick the easy route. Don't pick the hard route. So it's much wiser to spend your time, evaluating at the beginning, evaluating which business to go into, as opposed to evaluating how to make a tough business an easy business. I hope that makes sense to you. Someone who's a real man and is moving in that trajectory is going to say, thank you for the feedback. Point taken. I understand your point. I get it. Learn from what I have to tell you, and also follow in my footsteps in as much as I don't complain. I stay positive, but that doesn't mean that one isn't going through things that can make another man crumble. So follow that. That's the way a man should live.
But everyone wants an excuse. When people are like, when black folks always blame racism, it's not because they're black. It's because it's the easiest excuse. I've observed this my entire life. Black people have a strong inferiority complex. I mean that for the world of black people. It's strong. I never experienced this because I was raised to love, know, and understand what it is to be black. Not only on a historical level, but literally, what does it mean to be black? What is a melanocyte? Why does it produce melanin pigment? Where is melanin pigment found? What does it mean? What are the advantages? So I've always loved being black. I was raised by black people, black men and women. My grandmother was very dark, black, and loved being black. In short, without giving a historically grounded answer, in short, their biggest issue is knowledge of self. Most of these black males in our society today are white supremacists, which is to say they don't believe that black is capable, black is any good. They do believe in their own inferiority. Certainly they, have an inbred, a learned sense that whites are intellectually superior, more capable, more timely, things like that, more civil. And, in some ways the evidence appears to show this. And so in their lack of self-knowledge, when you do not know the self, when you don't know who you are as an individual, but more importantly, on a biological, scientific level, what does it really mean to be black? And then on a historical level, what are the accomplishments of your people? Have the black peoples of the earth ever been great? When you're not familiar with that, then you feel as though you're a part of a people who have only had enslavement as a history and who are doomed to only be successful at certain things that you've observed us be successful at on a consistent basis, that being athletics and entertainment. And so they have a lack of examples and a lack of character education, and poor parenting, come from bad families. And that's why we see this kind of behavior. And that is why we must spread the ism. The ism saves lives.
On Martin Luther King's birthday, I say his speech and his message and his ideology, garbage. That's a critique. I have a dream. Nonsense. That's a critique. And then I say, I have a plan. Let me tell you what it is. I give you the oratory with practical steps, and I got a whole organization behind me. Huh? Yes, I actually put my hands in the soil and create. Check my whole background. You'll see it my entire life since I was a young boy. It's different. Everyone can complain. Everyone can complain. Who will build? Huh?
I encourage that the saints all consider themselves leaders and businessmen above all.
So I never had this inferiority complex, and that's why I always perform, because I was always told this is the best thing you can be. So with that pride, I always outperform. Most black people actually hate themselves. Shout out to Beyonce with the blonde wig. You heard me? Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion, who keeps getting lighter every day. She thinks she Lil Kim or Sammy Sosa. But I say that to say this. People who don't love themselves, people who have inferiority complexes, they believe that they are low persons, though they might not admit it out of their mouth. As a result of this mental reality, they tend to underperform to make sure that their self-view of being a low person always manifests in their material existence. So they screw up on purpose. There are many people who are screw-ups. They're not going to succeed, not because of racism, not because of the systemic racism and the oppression. They're not going to succeed because they're self-hating knuckleheads. That's why. Yeah, and they got every excuse, right? So I wanted to point that out because I observe this behavior in black folks a lot, man. It's not the lack of IQ. It's the fact that you hate yourself, and because you hate yourself, you're going to screw yourself over. Nobody else is screwing you over. You're screwing yourself over. Why? He doesn't want himself to succeed. Y'all don't hear me though. Are y'all understanding this? Are y'all understanding this?